Hello and welcome to Know Exactly Where. In this clip, we're going to see a practical example of what we call the dance, which simply means that project team members are doing their tasks and confirming starts and completions, and we see how the project gets completed 100%. So we get started by actually going into the project, but we're not going to go to the calendar. By default, we get to the calendar because it's created. But we're going to go back to the dashboard. Here, there's on top left, we have the dashboard button. And we're going to go to the update project definition just for the sake of seeing what were the roles that we're going to do each of the tasks. So we're here, and we're going to keep this just for reference. So we're going to stay in this page just for reference, and we know that the project has been already started and we have some tasks that have happened. So we just want to go back into each of the roles to see what tasks are pending. So in this case, the meet to gather requirements needs to be completed. We knew that from before. It was left as in progress. So we're just going to go and start dancing. So in this case, it is like a dance. Each team member is going to confirm the completion of this task. We're just imagining that things are completed, fully completed for everybody. So we're just going to say, okay, I'm completed, and I'm completed as well. So everybody has completed that task. So we go back to the project and we see that here the very next task would be that the SOW would be created by Melissa and Steve. So, what can be expected is that both Melissa and Steve have received a notification to confirm start, and Michael, the client, may not have received anything. So, in this case, we go to the operations department. We'll refresh the inbox, and here we have the confirmation of operations of Steve that they have started the SOW. So, Steve says, yes, I have started it. At the same time, Melissa also has received that email about the start of the SOW. So that person says, I have started it as well. And now we would expect that Steve has received the confirm when you're done with it, which is exactly what we have here. So confirm when you have completed the task. So Steve confirms when he has completed the task. And again, here we just stopped a moment. All the pages that open up for each of the team members refresh the status, and it refresh what is completed for that person, what is in progress, and what is not started. So if we go back to Melissa, she does too have a confirmation of complete status for the creating the SOW, and she says, I have completed it. And again, she gets this summary page. I'm going to start closing summary pages because they accumulate. Of course, we're doing an exercise of seeing how things reflect. That would not be the normal pace of how fast things get done in a project. It's just for the sake of display. So we know that after Steve and Melissa both have accepted and have completed the SOW, we know now that it is Steve who has to elaborate the quotation and contract. So now nobody must have received any other emails other than Steve. So this one is Steve, the first one. Here it is. So the elaborate quotation and contract, but nobody else has to really receive any notification by now because there's nothing for them to do. It's only Steve who has to elaborate this quotation. So I've started it, and immediately right after, we should see the new notification saying, please confirm when you completed. It takes a couple of seconds, 5 seconds. Here it is. So please confirm when the task is completed. And we're going to say, okay, I'm done with this task. I have completed it. There you are. And here it is, one more completed. And if we go back to the project, the elaborate quotation and contract and the send contract to client is here as well. So if we go back again, you see how this works. We're going to do it for the first phase of the project. So confirm when you actually send the contract to the client. We say I have started it. And again, in some seconds, the email about confirm when you have finished it comes in. And here it is. We confirm when we have finished it. Here it is. We have completed it. And now we see and now we know that the next participant to do something about it is Michael. So it's back to Michael. back to the client. So therefore, we don't see anything new coming in the inbox of Steve. We don't see anything new coming to Melissa's inbox, but we do see something new coming to Michael's inbox. So here it is. Actually, it moved here to the promotions in Gmail. So apologies for that, but here it is. And we should remove these ones. Um, Here it is. So please confirm when you start. Actually, I'm going to move it to the inbox here to the primary. So it remembers to do it that way in the future. So I'm going to say yes here. Please confirm when you start signing the contract. So I confirm I'm starting that process, and then I just go reading the contract, etc., etc., etc. So at some point I say, okay, I'm done. I have read the contract and everything looks good. We're just going to sign it, and I complete the signature of that contract and I send it over. That's it. So I'm done. And finally, last but not least, after the contract signature, we know that it's Steve who has to receive the signed contract step 2, which is the signature from Logo Kings that Steve is going to be taking care of. So if we go back to Steve, which is the first inbox here, we refresh, and there it is. Contract step number 2, confirm the start of that task. There you are, it started. And last but not least, we get, please confirm the completion of that step. So Steve says, I have completed it, and that will have completed all the tasks of the first phase of the project. So this whole representation we've done here with the 3 roles is how the project will go. So this is what we call the dance. It's now you, now me, now you, I start, I confirm I finished, now it's your turn. So all those changes of turn are happening automatically. They're happening because the system is telling the other team members that they are ready to start. And that is why we like to say that we will finish the project as soon as is possible. So we have the guidance of the dates that the calendar mandate. But at the same time, if any project member finishes early, that can trigger the start of the next task immediately without waiting for the project manager and without waiting for the actual date when it was supposed to be starting. So that's all for this clip. I hope you liked it. See you in the next clip.